Harley Lippman to discuss. Harley, thanks for being with us this afternoon. Getting to those comments from Iran, Reuters reporting that Iran declares support for Hezbollah with wider peace deal. Quoting the foreign minister as saying, this war will end only when it ends in Lebanon as well. But we just heard from Lebanon, which told Iran to stop using it as a bargaining chip. So, Harley, what do you make of all of this? What's your take on what's going on here?
I think it's extraordinary that we're hearing this. I mean, think what just was said on this report, that Iran is dictating to the United States that Lebanon has to be included in the peace deal, meaning Israel cannot attack Hezbollah. That's incredible. Who is Iran? Isn't this a nation we supposedly defeated? Who are they to impose these conditions on the United States? That's the first reaction I have. It's just ridiculous and outrageous that they think that they can make such demands. And it would be equally outrageous if we accept it. Second, what does it tell you? That Israel's been telling the truth all along. They've been saying they have no grievance with Lebanon, that they can make peace with Lebanon, and that Hezbollah is a foreign entity that serves only Iran. It functions as a colonial and imperialist force in Lebanon and represses the Lebanese people. It's using the Lebanese people. Every bad thing you could think of that a country could do to another, Hezbollah is doing to the poor people of Lebanon and to the poor Israeli people who have been, victim of rockets attacked, for years now.
Yeah. At the same time, Harley, what we're also seeing, and that's great insight there, because it is totally shocking to an extent that they're trying to do this. But at the same time, there's tension being reported between President Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, that they aren't seeing eye to eye when it comes to all of this escalation in the Middle East. Axios has this new article out that says Netanyahu squeezed between Trump and election year politics. Netanyahu's recent spat with Trump over Lebanon underscored how his military objectives are dependent on a U.S. president who doesn't share his appetite for escalation. Now, we've been reporting that Trump wants Israel to stop bombing Lebanon to help with this, with the peace talks with Iran. What do you think of this, Harley? What do you make of Trump and Netanyahu's relationship? Do you give credit or credence to these reports? We know they are close, but it seems they're not on the same page. I mean, there was a report that Trump called Netanyahu effing crazy earlier this week. What's your take on these reports and the relationship there?
I think they have a great relationship, but even great friends can disagree. And I understand both sides. Let's look at the Israeli side for a moment. The equivalent would be, let's say in Texas, that there were 6,000 rockets where Texas did nothing wrong, but radical Islamists in Mexico, Al-Qaeda, fired 6,000 rockets into Texas, killing civilians, killing countless Americans. And all of a sudden, Washington tells Texas, we can't fire back. You can't do anything about it. Tell me how you think the citizens of Texas would react to that. Texas, of course, is the analogy for Israel. That's what President Trump is saying to Israel, that you have to just suck it up, in effect. That's a hard pill for Israel to swallow. At the same time, Israel has no choice. They are going to listen to President Trump because Israel is more isolated than ever before. They depend completely on the United States. And Prime Minister Netanyahu will reluctantly, but be very faithful to the instructions that President Trump gives him. And I understand President Trump. He's in an election year. The price of oil is high. The war is unpopular. He even has Republicans that are raising issues about this. He's very eager for a deal. So he's trying to put pressure on Israel so he can make a deal. I get it. I love President Trump, and I think he's great. But I think he may be getting bad advice, because at the end of the day, however we got into this war, he has to finish it. Because if he reduces U.S. forces in the region, which is another demand of Iran, and the perception will be that the United States is lost, even more than lost, that it's a rout, it will be devastating for the United States and the world to come. It'll be a devastating. Not only will he not go down as the best president the United States has ever had, which he could, he may go down as one of the worst because he will now make America and the world more at risk, where Iran could always, even if they temporarily agree to open the Strait of Hormuz, we now know they could always close it. So at the end of the day, while the bombing campaign is not popular, you need regime change. You have to finish this because these people hate us. They're all about destroying America. And if the United States doesn't change that regime, these people are seething with revenge. They will come back bigger and stronger. They'll have lessons learned. And we will pay a dramatically bigger price in the future than whatever price we would pay today to secure peace in the region.
Yeah, excellent points. Harley Lippman, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us today.